welcome everybody to a very special, very important episode. I know it looks like I'm dressed for a funeral, but we are here for the 100th episode of Legends Lookback, and I legitimately never thought I would say those words for a number of reasons, and yet here we are. It is time for a very super special episode that we've been planning for months, years. Yeah, we'll say years. We've been planning this. Finally, in all of his green glory, we are celebrating the greatest Star Wars expanded universe character of all time, Corran Horn. Guys, are we ready for a full-on Corran Horn character spectacular?
Can't wait. I've been looking forward to this day for a long, long time.
It looks like you're ready to marry him. I mean, to be honest. Surprise wedding. We're going to have Emily marrying Corran Horn live on air. No, we're not. However, you did surprise us one time with an actual baby. So there was that.
I did.
We are talking about Corran joining the Rogue Squadron. Corran from there, obviously, finds out, spoiler alert, for the X-Wing series. You've been warned. 5, 4, 3, 2, becomes a Jedi.
What?
It's because he rubs his medallion, Rick.
Oh.
The medallion.
He does rub it a lot.
A lot with his daddy issues. It was his daddy's medallion. Yep. Turns out, surprise, your grandpappy was a Jedi.
Yeah.
And the Halcyon, so that's become relevant all over again. He likes green, wears the green Jedi robes, becomes that one. He looks like a guy that needs money at a gas station. You know what I'm saying? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but obviously a very storied character in the Star Wars expanded universe. What's your favorite Corran Horn moment, guys?
I don't really like any of them, quite frankly.
Come on, you can't have that attitude on our Corran Horn.
Oh my gosh, I'm just kidding. Corran Horn? I mean, it was pretty funny when he got, like, I don't know, space herpes from that that tiger.
It's called
creature.
Herpes.
Oh yes,
the Salonian, the otter.
The Salonian. He did have relations with that woman, the Salonian. Yes, he did, and he broke out in chives.
The chives, that's right. Absolutely. Chives.
Is that this picture? I can't really tell.
I think so. I think
yeah.
so.
Is that what the purple flakes are?
Maybe. Is it the chives?
I personally like that in iJedi, and I'm serious, that Mike Stackpole retcons the Jedi Academy trilogy to have, there he is. It's a far cry from that last image we looked at with the gas station, Corran Horn, where he retcons the Jedi Academy trilogy to have Corran Horn save Luke's temple from Exar Kun's ghost, because Stackpole didn't like the way that story went down and just rewrote it and made Corran Horn the protagonist. And the idea that Corran Horn upstages an entire trilogy in order to be the hero is the most Corran Horn thing that ever happened, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's all about me.
Yeah,
it truly is. I mean, I think that's the way he lives his life. And I think that is, the way he is portrayed pretty much throughout. And it's kind of a giant love letter to all, fantasy men everywhere, right? Like he's the ideal man, right? Like he gets all the women. He's a hot shot.
Space Batman in green robes.
Space Batman, you're right. Yep. Why am I on this show?
We're finally celebrating Corey's favorite character in all of Star Wars. His that other great moment when his wife gets kidnapped, and instead of saving her,
he goes on a quest.
The Jedi Academy.
He does. Yeah,
Oh
he's like, it's like, I think I need to be trained in the Jedi arts so I can save my wife, even though that takes like literally years. It'll be fine. She'll be fine.
Like an accelerated course, like 3 months.
Something like that.
That's all the training.
He clapped out. It's fine.
How long do you think Luke actually spent on Dagobah? Like 2 weeks?
Not even.
Yeah. You can just skip right to the end.
72
You're
hours.
just enjoying
I've been watching that with my
the
kids
journey.
lately, and it is extremely heartwarming. We got to the big Vader reveal. Spoiler alert for Empire Strikes Back.
Wow.
Vader says to Luke, "No, I am your father." Right, and my 4-year-old looked at me and said, "He's his father for real life?"
For real life.
Yes.
Like, I want to remember this moment for the rest of my
that is
life.
beautiful.
And it has now made its way onto our 100th episode of Legends Look Back. Guys, I do have a bit of an announcement to make. First of all, if you're joining us here live in the chat, thank you. Really appreciate all the love. Tremendous love here in the chat. It has been a long and arduous and legendary journey to get here. Happy to have Corey Helton making his very first appearance on Legends Look Back. We think. We were trying to remember.
We think so.
We're like 99% sure. So we're declaring it, sweeping declaration, his first ever appearance live on Legends Look Back. It is not, however, going to be a Corran Horn character spectacular. I think we said enough about Corran Horn for tonight.
Thank God. I don't know if I could have gone on with that bit much longer, Jared, if I'm being honest. I truly, unironically dislike the character of Corran Horn. I think it's like a big running joke that like he's like secretly my favorite character. No, he really isn't. I do truly actually
like
dislike the
believable.
character. Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I
As long
really
as
don't
we're
doubt
all
you.
on the same page.
I
All on the same page.
truly, genuinely like the character.
It's hilarious. I don't know that there is another major protagonist as divisive as Corran Horn. Like people either loved IYKYK or they utterly despised it, and unfortunately, it became part of my brand in this positivity-based Star Wars company that I built. That I hate the character Corran
The
Horn.
one
So
exception.
To cover
oh
for Corey,
dear,
a lot of us do like Corran Horn.
All right.
He shares the same initials with Corey Helton, so there's a redeeming quality.
don't remind me, please. Just
Corey also, instead of saving the love of his life, went to medical school. So there's that.
I did.
Anyway, he's got a redemptive journey, a redemptive arc. By the time he gets to the new Jedi Order, you skip those, so you don't even know.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So you don't have to get very deep in. It's like the second or third book. Corran, he saves. Spoiler alert for this is our third spoiler alert.
Yeah.
He saves an entire planet by challenging a Yuuzhan Vong to an honor duel.
Doesn't surprise me at all. Does he do it while naked? He probably does, right?
And on that note, Rick, without further ado, let's throw Corran Horn out the airlock and let's start the show.
Bye-bye.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 100th episode of Legends Look Back. We are proudly part of the Youtini Podcast Network, a Star Wars books podcast for people whose books are held together with Elmer's glue and wishful thinking, where we celebrate our rich EU history as well as dive into lesser-known Star Wars classics. I wrote that 2 weeks ago and was like, what am I about to say here? And I'm glad I got the laugh, Emily. I'm your host, Jared Mace, and I'm joined for the 100th-ish time by the sharpest dressed man in the galaxy, Freddie C.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Freddie C.
That's
gonna be that's gonna be the intro to my game show, right? The '90s game show that I'm hosting.
It's me, Freddie C.
Hi, guys. This is the 100th episode of Legends Look Back. This is a huge day for all of us. Corey, don't know how he gave us permission to do this, but he did. And because of him, here we are talking about the stuff we love the most.
Yeah, I am so excited. You know, Freddie, I was saying to a friend the other day, you're trying to explain. You ever try to do this? You ever try to explain Youtini to people who don't know about Youtini? Or people who don't know about Star Wars or don't know about
Talk about Star Wars books.
I mean, yeah, I'm like, I've got a weekly live podcast, but it's not just for your ears. It's also for your eyes. It's on the internet. Every week, every single week. Yeah, I've done this for 100 shows. We talk about Star Wars. Oh, great. I love Star Wars. No, not that Star Wars. We talk about the irrelevant and outdated Star Wars that you don't know anything about. And we do it every single week. Every single week. That's right. And I was telling a friend the other day, you know what? Star Wars, sure. I love it. Absolutely. But genuinely, the friendships we've made along the way, so much more important than any of the Star Wars. And
without a doubt.
It has been an honor. I unironically call Freddie my Star Wars wife, and I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. Yeah. You know who else I love from the bottom of my heart, but not in a weird way? even though she's wearing a wedding dress, Emily
Oh, weird.
Daybeck.
I wasn't sure who you were going with for that one, so
I couldn't
That
remember
was an
either.
odd segue. That's fine. Thank you.
Not
thank
in a weird
you.
way.
I am wearing a vintage wedding dress that I acquired for free, and I was inspired to recreate the courtship of Princess Leia
Holy
for
cow.
tonight's
Oh my
celebration.
gosh.
wow.
So here we are.
You really did.
I'm sure you can see the resemblance.
Wow.
That is
So,
spectacular.
I mean, I cannot
What a
compete
cosplay.
with Freddie. I feel really salty that you made me go after him, but that's okay. That's
I
okay.
know, he's stealing
Different
the
vibes.
spotlight, Freddie.
Yeah.
Look what you did.
That's
I
right.
apologize.
You
You're not
think it would go
supposed to
the
steal
girl?
the-
No. it
You're not supposed to
doesn't.
steal the spotlight from a lady on her wedding day, Freddie. That's like rule number one. Come on.
That really is an uncanny resemblance.
Yeah, the head thing is phenomenal.
The cut of the dress, all of it. Now we just need
It's
our
stuck to me.
producer, Rick Grace, to try to impersonate Fabio, aka Prince Iceholder from the same cover. Instead, he looks more like maybe a card dealer. How are you doing,
Yeah,
Rick? Glad to have you
yeah.
here.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you. I'm here. Place your bets. Ante up. I'm
Hold on.
the teetotaling bartender with my crazy water and Coke. So ready to go. Ready to go.
Yeah, just shake him around a little bit. And
Yeah.
Really,
but not
really
not stirred. Am I right?
really sell it. Wow. Looking sharp, Rick. I
Thank
don't
you.
think I've ever seen you wearing anything other than cargo shorts.
No, I'm still wearing cargo shorts. Yeah. Don't you want to see? They're here.
Do not confuse
Rick!
Oh my god.
professionalism with his sense of
Nice,
style.
Rick. Usually you look like crap. Thanks for finally putting some effort into this, buddy.
Hey, business up. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna.
This is fantastic. And of course, joining for the very first time in the history of Legends Look Back, only took 100 episodes, the CEO of Youtini.com, Dr. Corey Helton.
Hello, everyone. What an honor to finally be on this show. Seriously, 100 episodes, guys. This is a really big deal. I mean, I'm not sure if folks realize it, but something like 1% of podcasts make it to episode 30, and I guarantee you, it's got to be like 0.001% make it to 100. So, like, this is a really big deal. 100 is triple digits, guys. So seriously, I mean, the fact that you guys all get together independently of the whole Youtini team and do this every single week is astounding. Like, as you say about the old and outdated Star Wars, right? It's just, you're right. The friendships that we've made along the way is what makes this thing so worth it. And it's such an honor to be here celebrating with you guys. Thank you so much for asking, for sure.
I'm sobbing over here. It's
All right,
so...
pull yourself together.
so
All right, pull
touching.
yourself together.
Oh my gosh. Well, happy to have you. Honestly, we have wanted to get you on for, I don't know, 20 episodes or so. We've been like batting it around, and I was like, hold up. We're approaching 100. It's going to be epic. It's going to be amazing. And then at the last minute, I balked on the idea about the corn horn thing because I didn't honestly think that we could do it. But made for a good bit. Some say too long of a bit. Some others
You
don't say
You
that.
could say that.
Decrease in viewership.
Yeah, the
We
people
lost
say
a
that.
couple viewers.
They're
Yeah.
voting.
The
with their
numbers
clicks.
speak for themselves, Jared.
What numbers? Whose numbers?
The points are
Never
made
coming
up
the
and the
odds.
rules don't matter.
I will say,
Oh.
whenever Freddie's visual appearance blessed us, the numbers just skyrocketed. So we definitely went viral for like half a second. So
As they should. Freddie, that is the most remarkable
It's
thing I've
seriously
ever seen in my entire
impressive.
life.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
yeah.
I've seen a Jackson cosplayer, and I'm telling you, that is the most remarkable thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I think this is if anybody cosplays as Legends Look Back, which I feel like we have someone out there who's going to do it.
That's
might
right.
have to grab this suit here.
yeah.
Mm.
Absolutely. Yeah, we do have a
For
fan who will-
our for the audio listeners, Freddie is fully decked out in this insane 90s suit. I don't know where it came from. He's got a gold dress shirt and a blue bow tie. Go to YouTube and look at the video. It is
It's worth it.
ridiculous.
It's worth your time.
It is
It's got
worth
the
it.
Taco
It
Bell
is.
geometric shapes,
It does.
Yes.
the Saved
Yep.
by the Bell
And,
vibe.
And the middle school sock hop in the back, right? Sock hop. Is that what they say
It,
nowadays?
it does look like he's at a middle
It's like
school
the
dance.
50s.
He's got a disco
Yeah.
ball.
Sock hop? What the heck you were talking about?
Yeah, a sock hop.
Yeah,
It's
the
the
sock
middle
hop.
school
Yeah,
dance.
yeah,
but
that's definitely what it is. Of course.
you have to wear socks for sure.
I mean, it's a very confusing name.
yeah, I totally went to the middle school dance. I didn't stay home and play Knights of the Old Republic. No, not me. I definitely was at the dance for sure. Well, I am
wait.
very happy to get to celebrate the show. We do have to say thank you to everybody who's helped us to get here, and it has been truly a lot of people. In a second, we're going to run down through the sheer number of people who have helped the show get to this point. We are also going to be celebrating everything that we love about Legends. In fact, this is an awards show of a sort, not like the other one, the Youtinis. No, we didn't put nearly that much effort into it. Instead, like in Legends Look Back fashion, we are going to play it by the hip a little bit. Like Greedo, who shoots first. We are going to give awards for our favorite Star Wars books, our favorite Star Wars Legends, of course. Favorite Legends book, favorite Legends comic. We got the Jedi, favorite Sith, favorite bounty hunter, which I tried to cut from the notes, and Freddie said never. We're going to talk about the weirdest stories in Star Wars Legends, the most romantic stories in Star Wars Legends, the best space battle, the best lightsaber fight, and so much more. So without further ado, we do have to, however, thank some of our new patrons. We've got 2 new patrons to shout out this week, Robert Thomas and a published Star Wars author who was recently on an episode of the Star Wars Archives, Corey Herndon, who wrote the Planet Hoppers articles. That was an absolutely fantastic interview. A great guy. Happy to have him as part of the family, for sure. And without further ado, Freddie, take the folks back in time a little bit to how Legends Look Back developed. Where did the show start? Before we get to the awards proper, I got to look for my trophies real quick. There's no trophies. Tell the good folks how this came to be what it is. You got 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute. Well, let's talk about the very beginning. There was Corey's call to action post Chicago celebration, and Corey had the idea that this Youtini thing needed a podcast wing of entertainment, and we did it. I was part of the production team on the first few shows. I can't tell how long that lasted. I think it was when Legends Look Back started. But before that, I was on an episode. I can't remember. Wes always knows what number it is. It's like 8 or 9.
It was very
Freddy
early.
Strikes Back.
That sounds right.
Yeah, something like
Here's
that.
the Tweaker episode.
That's right. That's right.
Freddie, is that the episode where you said Darth Plagueis was your favorite canon book?
Yeah,
He
that was
did.
it.
He said Darth Plagueis was his favorite canon, and he called from his cell phone, and there was some screaming person in the background. We're like,
And
Freddie,
tweakers.
what is going on? And he's like, oh, that's just a tweaker. Don't worry about it. Then he just continued this long monologue about something Star Wars. We're just like, I think about that every single time I see a tweaker now, Freddie. Every single time. It's never going to leave my mind. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
That's how Legends
Anyway.
Look Back came about.
It is.
Tweakers.
Wow.
We knew you were
I
perfect
remember-
for that because you weren't perfect for the Living Force. So
Well, honestly, I got I'm out on a run
That's
or
not true. That's not true.
or mowing the yard or something, and I'm listening to that episode and I'm thinking, I really like this Freddie guy. We've got a
he's
lot in common.
hilarious. Yeah.
They're like, no, Freddie, tell us your favorite canon book. And he said, I'm not changing my answer. It's Darth Plagueis. You doubled down, and I was like,
he
that's the
did. He
guy.
doubled down. That's how we knew he was perfect for a legend-centric show. Is like, and in his defense, Plagueis is probably one of the like closest to canon Star Wars Legends books there is. Like, truly, like it's very, very clear. It walks the line in a lot of ways. So, you know,
The more,
I
the
can
more
feel
time
that.
goes on, the farther we get from that line. But at one point,
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it did.
Corey messaged me and he said, hey, man, I know you wanted to get on board with the podcasting. I think we're ready to start looking into a Legends show. Love for you to take point on this and just try to figure something out. Okay, have fun. And I was so excited. I did nothing but I didn't even so much as message him back. I was just so stressed and excited. It was like when you're up to the plate in the bottom of the ninth, you're the pinch hitter, and you've been called up in the ninth inning of the World Series, Game 7.
Wow.
Yeah, sports.
This is some really
right.
high stakes.
That's how this felt to me, Emily.
Mm.
And so I drove to a thrift store to buy a microphone. And I messaged
Classic.
Freddie, and I said, Freddie, I know you don't know me, but I need you to talk to me about Legends tomorrow. We put together our demo show, and boy, did we have a lot to learn. I had no idea how much there was involved in this. What else?
I
would
don't
we
think
say,
any
Freddie?
of us did. We didn't even know what advice to give you guys either, because we had not been doing a podcast for that long on Living Force either. And we were like still winging it. We didn't know anything about mics. Like we had no money to buy you guys like stuff. Like when we've launched other shows down the road, like they got the full, red carpet experience with like they start with studio quality gear, and you guys just had to wing it for like
That's right.
how many episodes did you guys do? Like 20 or something? Like with
Yeah,
before we really got like the full support of Patreon and all that, I think. So
It could be about 20. I was thinking 18. Sounds about right. But we really had a lot to learn. Freddie, how many? Tell the good folks what the original like pitch was for Legends Look Back. We didn't have any ideas for content other than we would read Legends books and talk about
Yeah.
them.
Oh my goodness. The early years of Legends Look Back was insanity. We were reading a book every episode. We had a round table,
Every
right?
single episode was a round table.
So we read
that
books
was
weekly.
optimistic.
Oh, that was optimistic. We did it for how many episodes? Do you
lot.
recall?
I think it was
Jared?
18. I think it was around the 20 mark.
18
Yeah.
books in about
6 months.
exactly.
It was bi-weekly though, right? Or like
Yeah, but
2 to
still,
3
like that
weeks or
is
something?
in addition to a full-time job to read a book for the show every 2 weeks. In addition to other stuff we want to read for fun, I was still trying to keep up with canon books. It was.
I don't know how you did it.
No, I
it was
didn't. I
impossible.
stopped. I had to stop.
Freddie never actually read a book. He was lying the whole time, actually.
Star Wars. What are you talking about?
Freddie eventually got good at it. He would read the first chapter and then the last chapter, and then the second chapter and then the second to last chapter, and he would sandwich his way toward the middle of the book with whatever time he had left.
Yeah, that's how the early episodes had to end up going, and thankfully we picked a lot of books that we had already read, so it was kind of like a refresher in most cases. But we definitely dipped into some that were all very new, and it was, you had to really get through it, and it was a lot of work, and that's the thing, like, right? A lot of the behind the scenes stuff, at the very early stages of even the Living Force, we were just like, okay, how do we do this? How do we do this whole thing? And I was like, okay, well, if we can do it here, we could do it here too. And it was totally different, right? The Legends Look Back has it breathes its own life. And it has its own, I guess, run too, right? The way the Living Force ran, the way we did it, it was completely different. And there was no instructions, but we managed really well because we honestly loved the content we were doing, right?
For
Legends
sure.
books, and it's
Yeah.
like
That's what
if
drove
I
it.
have to read
That
a Legends
and
book
Surge.
and Surge, yes,
Dang.
Surge. If I had to read a book every other week, a Legends book, I was like, you know what? What else? What else am I gonna do?
What else? We'll
So,
do it
yeah.
live.
Have you ever read a Legends book while flying your airplane, Freddie?
I have not,
That's good. Don't do that.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad.
but I have listened to audiobooks.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll count it. I'll allow it. Do you listen
That
to
counts.
the X-Wing books on audiobook?
Oh,
while
that
you
would
fly
be
your airplane?
dangerous.
You know what? Thankfully, that has not happened yet.
like-
The
But
Krytos
thanks for the
strap just
idea.
released, so definitely
Man.
got to get you on that.
Back in the
It's gonna
day,
be like when you play video games, right? You're in the joystick and you're moving your body, but I'll
Uh-huh.
actually be doing it in the plane, and that
Yeah.
doesn't sound fun.
it's like
So go ahead, Rick.
sorry, I made the mistake of driving my school bus right after I played Mario Kart once, and I was so angry. It's like, get off the road! I'm gonna throw a blue shell at you. Yeah, but
Perfect. Well, I did do some research here. It looks like we went live with episode 19. Went to live video. That was tough. There was a lot, logistically,
Yeah.
technologically
hard.
there. And Meg came on as our producer for a number of episodes, and huge special thank you to Meg especially. She and I had a good chat today, just reminiscing about the show. And then Rick and Emily came on at episode 60. Guys, it's been 40 episodes since you joined. Isn't that
Can you
insane?
believe that?
wow.
Wow. It's almost a full year.
Yeah.
And
It does not feel like that long.
absolutely
Yeah.
happy
Nice.
to have you here.
I didn't realize. I guess that now I'm remembering it. We did. Both of you guys came on at the exact same time. That's right.
Mhm.
We just
We
just
did.
like doubled down and nice.
You know what it's
Yeah.
Good
like?
Lord.
It's like in Power Rangers
Mm.
when they have to overhaul the team because some of the teenagers went on strike because they weren't being paid well enough. So all of a sudden, Zordon is like, it's time for these teenagers to move on with their lives. we're bringing in new teenagers.
Yeah.
Surely none of the kids will notice.
Yeah.
The hand waved, and we were like, all right, sure, it's morphin time, I guess. That's what it is.
It's morphin time.
That's what it is. So we're gonna play a little game here as we finish up the reminiscing. And yeah, perfect, Rick.
Thank you.
Great morphin time over there.
Thank you.
As we move on to the awards proper, I've got the stats written down somewhere. Got to find my paper. And we're gonna go around the horn here, and we're gonna guess a number of categories. First of all, guess how many guests have been on Legends Look Back. Number 2,
wow.
the number of books that we have read for the show, going all the way back to the beginning, Freddie, to episode 0. So Rick and Emily, yeah, look at Emily's eyes. She's like, whoa, this is not what I signed up for.
Sounds like a lot.
It's making it a little bit more challenging, but undershoot a little bit so that my numbers sound impressive, please. Okay. Guess the number of times Freddie has referenced Star Wars Galaxies, the number of times Freddie has referenced Truce at Bakura, the number of times we've referenced a certain scantily clad emperor, and guess how many copies of Truce at Bakura Freddie owns. Okay, so starting with Rick, first and foremost, guess the number of guests on Legends Look Back.
Guessed. 23.
Wow. What a guess. Emily.
Now I think he's right. 25.
I shouldn't have reacted. Freddie.
I think he's right.
Guess the number of guests. I feel like we have not had that many guests.
We've slowed down some since we've had a more stable crew.
16.
And you want to guess, Corey?
I'll say 18.
All right. By my count, and let's be honest, I could be wrong. You are correct, Rick. 23 was my number.
Wow.
I've
Nice.
got Stacy, Andrew, Heather. Heather's on here twice. Oh no, it's 22.
No.
Oh
Oh,
no!
man.
All you gotta do
Close
is
enough,
count,
go,
Jared.
lose.
Just count. Just count.
That
Carl,
was
Corey,
incredible.
Eric, Charlie, Charles, Emma, Cheryl,
Hold on.
Nathan,
Okay, never mind.
Tim, Jake, Mark Thompson, John Jackson Miller, Tyler, Caleb, Wes, Trevor, Jose, Jacob, and Patrick.
Wow.
Oh, I'm missing one.
Yeah.
It's back up to 23. Jake. Nope, I said Jake, didn't I?
What about
Yeah,
Corey?
back
did.
down
Corey.
to 22.
Corey.
Okay.
Good. You said
22
Corey. No, you
locked
said
in.
it's 22.
Set in stone.
Uh,
22 guests, and thank you to each and every one. Thank you. But
What about
But,
my alternate personality, Sean Connery?
but real talk, Freddie, which one of those was the best? No, don't do that. Okay, moving on. Let's see
Corey.
here.
It's me. I'm the best.
What is the number of
Thank
books?
the
I'll-
maker. Sorry.
I'll give you a hint that this number is higher than the last one.
Mm.
And everybody in the chat, hey, by the way, please go ahead and play along, and we'll give you time to get your guesses in before we lock it in. Guess the number of roundtables that we.
Oof.
No, the number of books, not the number of roundtables.
Okay.
The number of books and or comic volumes, so not individual issues, but like story arcs. Guess
What?
the number of books that we have read
Okay.
for Legends Look Back. Same order, Rick, you are up first, going
Okay.
all the way back to episode 0.
All right. So let's go. 63.
63, good guess, or maybe not. Emily,
I think 45.
45. Freddie,
What was that?
Let's see.
it's not a reaction. That's what it isn't.
You know,
That was a reaction.
Nope, not a reaction.
I feel like for
I'm
some
a great
reason
secret keeper.
the number is like in the 30s. I don't know why. 'Cause I've read a lot of these. I've read all of these books.
Okay. At some point in his life, he's read all of them.
More recently, I've read all of them. And then we're doing this race to the finish, so we're definitely piling through some of these. So it's getting
There you go.
serious.
What's your
There you
number,
go.
Freddie?
38.
And
I
Corey.
was gonna guess 38. I'll go one lower because that's how the rules work. 37.
Here's the number. Drum roll, please. Get your votes in the chat right now. Here's the crazy thing. We had already covered 2 books on episode 0.
What?
Before we even got to 1, we had already done 2
that
books.
doesn't. How?
This show. All right, Star Wars doesn't make sense with its numbering system. The first movie is episode 4. Try explaining that to a 4-year-old. I did the day. It was unsuccessful. Yeah, we did Death Troopers and Red Harvest. We
Wow,
talked about
that
both
is
of them.
Wild combination.
Yeah.
What's the number? How many
Yeah,
how many
what's
of you
the
guys had?
What's the
43.
number? Ooh.
43 is the
43?
number. 43.
Nice.
Wow.
Heck yeah.
That's right. Here we go. Death
lot
Troopers,
of
Red
books.
Harvest, Clone Wars, Wild Space, Kenobi,
You're gonna
which we did
read?
twice, but we're not counting it twice. Courtship of Princess Leia, Dark Empire, Tales of the Jedi, Revan, Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, The Last Command, all 3 books of the Jedi Academy trilogy, 4 books of the Republic Commando, 5 of those books in that series, Rogue Squadron, Wedge's Gamble, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, oh my gosh, Darth Plagueis, Shadows of the Empire, the Han Solo trilogy, oh no, my count is off again. I've done it. All right. Both Han Solo trilogies. We did one of those books, so that gets us up to 44. We did one of the daily books. We've done, I just wrote Whales. What book is that?
Star Trek 6.
Whalodons.
Yep.
Dude,
Jedi
there's
Prince.
that's a lot of books to read.
Jedi Prince.
Prince.
The
What a
glove of
fool.
Darth Vader with the space whales.
Whales.
Yeah. Another one of my notes, Freddie, and I kid you not, instead of a title, there's just the dinosaur emoji. What book is that? He's pulling
What?
it off the shelf, everybody.
True
Oh
Sakura.
my gosh.
True
That's
Sakura
my
right
answer
here.
for a lot of these questions. Man.
Wow, that one really is held together by Elmer's glue and wishful thinking.
Oh, yes.
For sure. Okay, we've got Knights of the Old Republic, all 3 books in the Darth Bane trilogy. I've got a ghost emoji, the Darth Vader in the ghost prison, Dark Empire 2, CE. Why did I abbreviate it that way? Okay, that one is Crimson Empire, Empire's End, Outbound Flight, Blood Ties, Shadows of the Empire. I already said that one, didn't I? Uh-oh. Numbers off. We're calling it 43. We also talked about the Valence story arc from the Marvel Comics, Shatterpoint, and Heart of the Jedi. Those are my 43.
Are you counting like the Insider collections?
All right, our number is up to, we're around 45. Okay,
Ish.
it's around 45.
Ish.
That's right.
I win.
Put
I
an
think what he's trying to say is
asterisk.
Emily wins.
Ish.
Did you guess
That's-
45?
That is correct. That is correct.
Thank you.
I think you did. No, because
She did. She guessed
I won.
43.
We bumped
I'm
it down
also winning
one.
the race to the finish, but
What?
I don't like to brag.
That's next episode. We're getting to that one next episode. But congratulations. Hey,
Oh man.
I've got a lot to say about that. Moving on. What's the next category here? Next category is the number of times Freddie has referenced Star Wars Galaxies.
At least.
There's no way
at
you
least
counted that.
Once
I did
per
not.
episode.
No, I did not.
Okay, I was gonna say,
It's
holy
like,
smokes.
That was an entire episode. So like,
We'll start with the 100 and go from there.
yeah.
There you go. There you
We'll
go.
start the
100.
bidding at
We'll do it.
100 references.
It'll be
Exactly.
another episode. It might be.
Oh,
It
man.
might be. The number of times Corey has almost pulled the plug on the show.
Oh, that's probably up there in the hundreds too, right?
Almost said never, but that's not true.
I get a DM almost weekly, so
That's
And
not
moving on.
true.
I know.
If
It
Rick
hasn't
says
happened
moist
in
one more time, we're pulling it.
dozens of episodes, literally dozens.
Off
Okay,
the shelf.
let's get to the awards proper. This is going to be an award show where none of the hosts punch each other. Okay, because none of us are in the same
Slap.
room. Yeah, slap. There's no slaps in this episode of Legends Look Back.
Keep your mama's name. Wait, I messed it up already.
These
right.
books slap though.
Hey, there we
Okay.
go. So the first presenting, I need an envelope here. The
Thanks, Rick.
first of our awards tonight, here, I do have an envelope. All right, is this photo of all of us at Star Wars Celebration. No,
Not all of us.
the first of the awards, sorry, Rick,
Oh.
is the favorite Legends book. This probably should have been the last category, but too bad. It's first in the notes. Here we go. Our favorite Legends books. Rick, can you cue up the images? My pick for the evening is the one I'm right in the middle of right now. Recency bias? Maybe. I don't know. Darth Maul Shadowhunter.
Not this one.
No, that's not.
Get that out of my face.
Whoopsies.
Darth Maul Shadowhunter. I'm currently in the middle of the audiobook. It is read by Sam Witwer. There are some sentences. We're going to have to pull clips for this when we do a roundtable. We're going to do it pretty soon, in a couple of months. I believe it's our September roundtable. Darth Maul Shadowhunter. Sam Witwer sometimes in the same sentence will go back and forth between his Maul voice and his Palpatine voice. Like if Maul is thinking about what Palpatine will do to him, he'll creep into that other voice. It is possibly the greatest Star Wars audiobook ever made. Possibly. Wow.
That doesn't surprise me. I've heard nothing but good things. And isn't it amazing how Sam Witwer has completely changed the way Maul looks and sounds in your mind's eye?
Yeah,
like
totally.
even with Legends, like going back and like,
right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, he's
It's crazy.
retconning this 20-year-old book, which is awesome.
He is.
It's really cool.
Yeah, he is. He is.
I'm like thinking of all these Clone Wars and Rebels moments with the character now. As a book, it really is a wild ride, spectacular. And so I can't wait for us to cover it on the show. I won't say anything else about it. Let's see. Corey, you're up next. Your favorite Legends book.
Yes. We were talking about this recently on Living Force, actually, is I'm fairly well read in Legends, actually. And, I've always I don't really consider myself to be, worthy of the Legends glory praise that, folks like Jared and Freddie and Rick and Emily and like Trevor on our team have, but I have read most of them, probably about 95% of Legends books. I mean, that's why I started Youtini in the first place. So, I give that preface because it feels like it's almost cliche to say that Darth Plagueis is your favorite Legends book, because I think it's probably one of the most universally loved Legends books that are out there. But I didn't realize how good this was until I reread it recently. And when I was working on my camper last year, I listened to the audiobook for Darth Plagueis, narrated by Jonathan Davis. And it's fascinating audiobook because the production of this is a little older, right? And some of the pronunciations hadn't quite been figured out yet. Like there was a couple really funny ones in there that I can't quite remember that were not.
Diaz, he really butchers.
It's Sifo Diaz. That's what he says. Yeah. Because it wasn't, it wasn't quite.
Say that to my face.
I don't know. Exactly. But I could not believe, if any of the listeners listen to Living Force, you might have remembered me raving about this. I could not believe how hard Darth Plagueis hit after all that time. The book is phenomenal. It's a masterpiece experience. Like the audiobook too is just so good. Like, I don't think it is a cliche anymore to say that Darth Plagueis is your favorite Legends book. Like it's just that good. It really is. It's probably in my top 5 of all time, like books, not just like
my favorite canon
Legends.
book.
Like, yeah. Get out, Freddie. Oh man.
There's a part of me that I used to listen to this every single year. I've just re-listened to it right around November. As soon as it got a little cold, I was like, it really feels like Plagueis weather up in here. And I just listened to it. It really is. There's part of me that wants to be trendy and hipster, and it's like, I love Legends books nobody's ever heard of, but this one really is. It really does take the cake as one of the masterpieces. Who's up next? Freddie.
Yeah.
Pointed wrong direction. Freddie.
Luke Skywalker
Again.
and the Shadows of Mindor. Kidding, that is not.
It's the off-brand version.
There's a volcano in Shadows of
Skywalker.
Mindor. There's a flying freaking volcano.
It's like Avatar or something.
There you go.
Try it again. Take it away, Freddie.
So, it's not Luke Skywalker and the Shadows at the Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
.com.
It is
What?
.com. It is actually this book here, which happens to be my meme. I guess I talk about it a lot, but it was my introduction.
Here, hold it up for the thumbnail.
Hold on, get the light out of it. There you go. Oh yeah.
Gee, what book is that, Freddie? I cannot imagine what book this could possibly be.
This book here, if you're on the audio, you're not seeing what I'm showing here, but it's a Truce at Bakura. And I should do the audiobook for this. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
It's got to be coming, right?
100%.
Yeah.
I gotta
Listen-
do Youtini audio drama, Legends Lookback exclusive, Patreon exclusive,
There
audio
you go.
drama, The
We
Jews
got to
of
start with a
Bakura.
short story or something.
You got to read the whole thing. It'll take you
The
like
whole
14
thing.
hours, but read the whole thing. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's for the
I'm in it.
content, Freddie.
I mean, look what I'm wearing. I'm all in. So yeah, this is a lot of Legends books. You'll talk to a lot of people. What is your favorite Star Wars book? And it really tends to be even I guess not really the best book, but just the book that introduced them to Star Wars, right? So
Yeah.
we had several people on the show who, Courtship of Princess Leia was their favorite book, and that it's a legitimately good book. Not as good as Truce of Bakura, but but that's how I rate this book. It's the first thing that I'll never forget. I looked at it and I was like, "There's a Star Wars book. I like Star Wars. I didn't know they made books. This is actually the first book that I ever."
That's how so many of us get started,
acquired.
right?
Yeah, it even has the classroom number on here still.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know how that
Whoa.
goes
Steal
there.
that from
You
school?
stole that from the children?
I acquired this
But
book.
the children love the books.
There was a children at the time.
Oh
It's
my
an,
gosh.
that's an elf reference for anyone out there.
You're the reason kids are illiterate these days, Freddie.
There you go. And I'll never forget picking this book up, reading it, and thinking, "Holy cow, dinosaurs! There are dinosaurs in Star Wars." And it was, it was
ironically,
mind-blowing.
that's what people read it today say also, Freddie.
Nothing has changed.
Something has changed.
Oh man.
I enjoyed the
Great.
read, definitely. Now that I've gotten into, affectionately call the books that I have left the bottom of the barrel. Now that I've gotten there, Truce of Bakura really is standing out as an absolutely decent Legends book. So I say that with love. I'm actually quite enjoying the third book of the Lando Calrissian trilogy,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
much to my surprise.
Good
It's-
Lord.
We've been really struggling through that series.
Man,
It's
you
something
are
else.
really digging down there at the bottom of the barrel too, Jared. Oh
right.
man.
Yeah, it's fun down
Woo,
here.
okay.
It's a lot of fun. Okay.
Well, listen, they tend to they keep bringing very interesting additions to these Legends Essential Collections. Like when they finally put like the Lando Calrissian trilogy or like Truce of Bakura, when they slap that Legends Essential Collection on there, I'm just gonna be like, all right, now they're just making crap up at this point because
I can genuinely see
They're
them
all
doing it.
essential.
yeah, I genuinely think they're eventually just going to reprint all of them, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
And funny enough, even having read almost every single Legends book, I've never read the Lando trilogy, the Han trilogy, the Han Solo Adventures trilogy. I have read the AC Crispin trilogy and the Truce of Bakura. I've never read those. It's the only ones, which is why it was so funny when I think you brought this up when I interviewed you, Freddie, of what your favorite Star Wars book
Totally.
was. I'm pretty sure that you said something about Truce of Bakura, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that one's really good. I'm like, I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. Like, this is one of those really obscure Star Wars books that they don't sell anymore, so there's no way for me to find it, right? At Barnes and Noble, which is how I read all my books when I was a kid. So,
Goodness.
yeah, I've always found it like it warms my heart that you've been so loyal to this book after all this time. It's cool. It's cool how books, even, we joke about them being quote unquote bad, but they're not really bad though. They're not though. It's still Star Wars and it's still a lot of fun, and the nostalgia that it brings you, like nobody can ever take that away. So, I think it makes books like IYKYK and Truce of Bakura and the Han Solo and Lando Calrissian Adventures fun, is even though they're kind of bad, they're still fun to love and talk about why
That's
you
right.
love them.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
could not tell you how much I disliked the first two books in this trilogy. And then to get to the third one and like it was a huge surprise. And it's a fun
Yeah.
feeling. You never know. You just never know what you're going to get.
I
So,
know.
Emily, you are up next with a book that has, however, been reprinted in the Essential Legends collection. And that is...
Kenobi. I really did not like this book the first go round. I read it early on in my Star Wars journey, and I actually advocated for it to be removed from our Essential 6. I think it was like the Fabulous 5, and we added a 6th one. I was like, why is Kenobi even in here? It's not that great. But when we did the round table a couple months ago, it completely changed my mind. So do not just write off a book on the first read. Like, give it a good shot, discuss it with some friends, and it can really change your mind, because now it is my favorite book.
Excellent. Yeah, it really is fantastic. My most recent reread was delightful, as always. It is.
I love how-
it is such a go-to.
I love how rereads will do that for you too. Like, I mean, we've that famously happened with Queen's Queen's Peril with us. I dare even say that name on this show because it has caused us so many problems over the years. But yeah, I mean, you change the medium, you discuss it with folks. I mean, I always leave our roundtable discussions with a better appreciation for the book than I maybe originally had. So that's a lot of fun to hear.
I think too, because I've recently moved from the desert, and having lived in the desert for even just a brief time, like a year, it brought just a new life to that book. So I think the more you travel, the more you see things differently too. But I'm pretty homesick right now. I just got settled back in Georgia, and I'm really missing my desert, man. So I've seen the
You're
chat
missing
for
your
the
desert.
desert.
What a thing to say.
I know.
What a Star
I
Wars
miss
thing to
it.
say.
I miss it. Tatooine has a special place in my heart now.
Wow. What a thing to say. I'm just like, I really miss my desert. How do
In
I
the
even
words of
respond to that?
Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, what a desolate place this is.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Okay,
wonderful.
great pick. We've got Shadowhunter, Darth Plagueis, Truce Bakura, Kenobi, Rick, round out the list for our best book category.
I think I'm notoriously bad at having favorites. So this is kind of an answer, but the Revenge of the Sith novelization, I'll say, is my favorite. If we're gonna allow it, it's,
That's great.
Yeah.
So
Just for
I think you
tonight,
should.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Thank you,
Even though
thank
it's
you.
not strictly Legends.
right.
Yeah. You
It's
know, we
Legends
have
enough to count.
we've had a lot of debate, like in the team, of how we call these film novelizations books. We called them loosely canon for a long time until we eventually just took away the terminology altogether and have said that it's officially a Legends book. But it'll be interesting. I wonder if they will ever reprint this one as an Essential Legends collection.
that'd
That
be
would be interesting.
I believe a representative from Del Rey has said on Twitter, no, they won't, because
They won't
but
do
of
that?
course, they could change that because it is.
Yeah.
They want it to be this nebulous thing, like it's an interpretation
Mm.
of
Yeah.
the film, but it does have a lot of Legends references. It really does.
It does.
Yeah.
It does have a lot of Legends references.
You know,
and
one of the
I
things
certainly
that
think
I-
it's more Legends than it is canon, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
think it is personally.
One of
but-
the things that I like to call it, and I've been telling, a lot of people who don't know the difference between Legends and canon. They're just like, none of those mean anything to me.
Sure.
I just started
Right.
calling it the George universe or the George era, and then the Disney era, and they've started to
Yeah.
get it like
Mhm.
that. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
And he was involved in the writing of this book.
That's
You
the
know,
only
sat down
one
with the
too.
author
If that information is correct, that he personally edited. Like they said that they gave him the Word doc, and he like took stuff out and added words and
That's
stuff to
so
it,
cool.
which is
Wow. I
insane
want
to
a
me.
movie
That
is the making of the best Star Wars book ever written.
yeah.
And then
I
the
think so,
making of the
too.
worst Star Wars book ever written. And that one will never be released. And instead, we'll have to do a roundtable about the making of the worst Star Wars book ever written for Legends Look Back. Here's the problem. Okay, we've gone through our first category. We have too many categories. We're running out of time. Here's what we're going to have to do. For the next category, we're going to skip down to favorite Jedi. Everybody gets one sentence for your favorite Jedi. Okay? One sentence. If you go to two, Rick's going to cut you off. And
Run
we're
on
gonna play-
sentence.
We're going to play you off with Across the Stars. Na, 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 like we do with the Oscars. Okay. Favorite Jedi. You want to guess what my favorite is? I can't really quite decide. I've got two. I'll give you a hint. One has goat hooves,
Oh.
and the other is Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear
What is
with
goat
BB-8
hooves?
body.
Oh my god.
Those are,
Wait, you
how
read
can you
the Darth
choose?
Bane
How can you
trilogy.
choose?
Corey's read the
Neither are
Darth
fully
Bane.
human.
Why not
mean-
both?
Or
Yeah.
no.
Combine them.
Yeah, Emily,
Yes.
who are we talking about? Who are these Jedi?
Oh,
Valentine
Valentine Farfalla. And I don't even know how you say that. And Patajoyos
Patajoyos
brand.
brand.
I
Yeah.
still need to
Yes.
encounter this guy because I just my daughter's obsessed with the movie Lightyear. We've been watching it, and I just really need
looks
to learn more
like
about
him.
this Jedi.
That's right.
I feel like
So,
that might
oh
be my
dear.
in.
straight from
BB-8
Lightyear to Dark
Buzz.
Empire 2.
We watched
This-
Lightyear literally last night, and yeah, this tracks.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
It looks just like him.
unironically,
It does.
these are legitimately my two favorite Legends Jedi. No cap.
I like-
All right, they
I
legitimately
mean-
are. In
Patajoyos.
he's self-sacrificial. He's
Yes.
steampunk. He helps Luke usher in his new era of Jedi, and he gives him maybe it's Han. I don't know. I'm not going to reread Dark
A
Empire. 2
keystone
anytime soon.
character, if you will.
That's right.
He evacuates his bowels in his own like compartment. Like, I mean, what's not to love?
He's a ship.
Well,
Well, he does have a lightsaber built into his arm, which is rad, and he retrofits the Millennium Falcon steampunk. I mean,
Mm.
that's cool.
That
And
is
he's a
cool.
Jared, I
king.
thought we only had one sentence.
Oh, dang it.
Oh yeah.
He's also a
Just
king.
run on.
Did you also get the fact that he's a king? Okay, who's up next? Corey, your favorite Jedi.
Okay.
I'll go. Listen, you guys have heard 1,000 times.
All right, guys, that's it. Moving on.
I didn't complete the sentence. Okay. My first ever book was the ninth book in a 9-book series, the Legacy of the Jedi series, and I love all of those characters that are heavily depicted. You know, the Solo children, Ben Skywalker. I loved all those folks. I love Jaina Solo's character arc. She gets trained by Boba Fett in that series, and then
So
kicks
cool.
her brother's tail, and it's fantastic. I love her. The Sword of the Jedi, you know, there was supposed to be a book written, right? It was going to be called The Sword of the Jedi, and it never saw the light of day. And a lot of folks have been requesting that. I think if there's ever a Legends book that could be brought to life again, I could see that being it. Maybe. Like,
Don't talk.
I don't
Don't say
know.
those things to me, Corey. Don't
I
tease me
know,
like
I
that.
know.
I've got the shakes. I'm so eager for it. I recently
Yeah.
found Sword of the Jedi fan fiction, where some crazy Legends fan out there, if you're listening, I love you.
I'm telling you,
but
yeah, I've seen
It's a
that.
crazy move. They're like,
It's pretty good too. It's not that bad. The one I read wasn't that bad. So I
"You
don't know
read
about
one? Oh my gosh!
not a whole thing, but it was
Okay.
years ago, like back when I was really
Breaking
into
news.
that. Yeah, a long
Corey
time ago.
read
Man.
Legends fan fiction. That's the next episode of Legends. Lookback.
I'm telling you, I'm pretty well read in the Legends world. So
Yes,
you know,
awesome. I love it. Great pick, Freddie. You're up next.
Okay, so I had a hard time here because I wanted to pick Quinlan Voss because I love Quinlan Voss. I think he's like one of my favorite characters. But I started thinking, I was like, okay, I really don't like Jedi. A lot of Jedi for some reason. But there was one that stood out to me, and it's funny because he's a Jedi exile. And for those of you who know, that's Zane Carrick. Big fan of Zane. He's at the right place at the wrong time, but at the right time all the time.
All the time. What a great quote.
That's awesome.
And that's my sentence. But yeah,
Again, say it one more time.
Zane, he's at the right place at the wrong time at the right time all the time.
Wow.
I want
Nice.
John Jackson Miller to write that on a book sometime.
Sounds
That
like a
needs to
Star
go on
Wars
the
or like a
back.
Dr. Seuss.
It's really good. Yeah.
Well,
I love that.
everything Freddie says when he's dressed like that sounds like Dr. Seuss. Or if it's not, it should be. What a great pick. Zane Carrick. Hope that makes Skooma Joe happy there in the chat. Oh, yep. He's in all caps. Great. Love it. It's his favorite series for sure. He's officially requested a volume 2 roundtable on Knights of the Old Republic. Rick, Emily, you think you're up for 55 issues of a comic series?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
JJM.
The
Let's
best-
do
I
it.
might
one
need
of
a
the
couple
best.
months notice.
Yeah. What a
Maybe
spirit.
sign that for a time when, I don't know.
When you're back
Yes,
in the
I'm
desert.
in.
That's there we go. Okay. And Rick, your favorite Jedi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's not the most legendsy answer ever.
all right, moving on.
I didn't get to answer mine.
Oh,
You skipped
okay.
me.
We can come to you. Yeah, absolutely. But first, Rick, explain why Obi-Wan. One sentence.
No. You missed your chance. Don't get anything now.
Oh, Rick, I want to hear. I love Obi-Wan. Everybody loves
well,
Obi-Wan.
Like I said,
Talk about him.
I love Revenge of the Sith, and I love Kenobi. Two of my favorite books, and so a lot of Kenobi in them. Plus, I haven't read a lot of 90s, early 2000s Legends. That's way after the original trilogy to explore when there's actually a lot of Jedi. So most of what I read didn't have a lot of Jedi around.
Okay,
And,
good answer.
I don't like Farfalla. I think he's overrated. So there's that.
Same.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, he's
man.
a better dresser than you, that's for sure.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
He would have owned a suit jacket.
He
Custom made for his hooves.
Yeah.
So, hooves. I don't like the word hooves.
hooves.
Did you know
It's like part
Corey,
throw up.
that the Jedi,
Hooves.
the Bane trilogy, the flamboyant one who takes over for Hoth, he's the main character, main Jedi in the second book, has goat hooves. He's
No,
half Hothan.
I genuinely did not know that. Like genuinely, I re-listened to the audiobook for the Darth Bane series like right before I listened to Plagueis like last year. So like I cannot believe I didn't remember that. They must have glossed right
So-
over that.
I don't think that they. I don't think that
If
they
it specifies
clarify.
him running, right? You know how they like, he do they say he galloped along or
Yeah.
he
Trotted.
flip-flopped
It's
along?
like this is
That's
so
right.
literally.
His hooves
That
clipped
was
along the
really
ground as he
added
rushed into
after.
battle.
Yeah.
Oh, peak legends right there,
In-
baby. There we
In all
go.
honesty, it's not in the books. It's only in the comic that then is
Ugh.
adapted into the book. So that's legends for you. Okay, Emily, you're dying to go
Love
here.
it.
Your favorite Jedi
Ugh.
is not Valentine Farfalla. It is who?
No, it's the other end. Revan. The good, the bad,
Jedi.
redemption, the legend.
Interesting.
Yes.
The legend.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
Jedi
what
side
an
of Revan
awesome
is
arc.
fascinating. I think people are far more obsessed with the Sith side, but I'm more interested in the Jedi side as well. His whole role in the Mandalorian Wars, all that is super fascinating.
Yeah.
I love that.
So unique.
It's seriously
I'm
is.
like wanting to stand up and grab my Revan Funko Pops, but I don't want y'all to see that I'm in shorts with
Ah.
my suit.
He's, he's
Well,
I
naked
wouldn't-
from the waist down, just like
I don't want
Palpatine.
to show off the
For
thigh
those
on
who
camera.
can't see it,
Maybe
I'm
it's
wearing
half
the same-
Bothan on the bottom half, like Farfalla. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
unlike
right, that's
Freddy, he
For a
came
wedding dress
prepared.
undershirt.
That's what I don't
My
want you
pants
to
are matching.
see.
In case the
Yeah,
camera fell again, like it always does.
That's right. Freddy's, no joke, Freddy's pants are matching.
Stand up a little bit here.
Stand up. Stand up. Turn around.
Look at his- I'm so impressed. Look at this.
Look at that knee. Nice.
I need more.
Oh,
I
oh, God.
need more.
Oh, and Freddie, Jared disappeared. Where'd Jared go? We
Yeah.
lost
That's
him.
my
he's-
Funko Pop. Show
It is
Emily, since it's
Funko
your
Pop.
favorite character.
It
Mm.
All right,
is.
I've got the Jedi Revan Funko Pop. He's in the light side robe.
It's not a
Ooh.
cooler mask in Star Wars either. You cannot tell me I'm
No,
wrong. Like the
and the way
mask
he
of
acquired it, too.
Revan.
And then I've
That's
got
so
the dark
badass.
side one.
Oh
And-
man, those
I
are
mean,
sick.
Just
How
kidding.
can you beat that? And y'all know I love some Sith.
Mm.
Yes,
Oh,
and
Sith
the
has
fact that he
some
also
Sith.
has a purple lightsaber is like the coolest thing ever. A purple and a
Yes.
red. Name a more
Dual wielding.
iconic duo.
That's right. Oh
That's
yeah,
cool.
for sure. Hey, Freddie, remember at Celebration when we ran into Malik hanging out with Bastila?
Oh yeah, and then the
Because he-
lumpy, not the lumpy, it was not lumpy. I saw lumpy there too, actually. I saw lumpy, but the
Lumpy.
sad Revan is what I was going for. I don't know why I
Yeah,
said lumpy.
two people in
Sad
front of them
Revan?
is a
There
Revan,
was a
and
sad Revan.
it's a very wimpy Revan costume. Bless his heart. I think
Oh,
the
yeah,
boy
yeah.
had just kind of had a long day. He was hanging out with his dad, took his mask off. He looked dehydrated, waiting in the long line, and two people behind them is Buff Malik hanging. That's Nihilus.
No, that's Nihilus. Yeah, sorry.
He's hanging out with Buff Malik, hanging out with Bastila. And I turned to Freddie and said, "Hey, you know why Revan's sad? Because Bastila stole your girl." Malik,
Jared
ruined the
loved
joke.
it.
Malik,
That
Malik.
is so many layers deep. Like to
Alex.
understand. Like I had this meta moment last week on The Living Force. I was like, guys, we know so much about Star Wars. It's
Too
like
much.
almost problematic. Like truly.
Yeah. If I explained to my coworkers that joke, they would not have a clue.
No. I mean, it would take you 10 minutes to explain. Like at least. Like yeah.
The 2003 Game of the Year. Okay, there's a lot there. Let's talk about. Speaking of us knowing too much, we're gonna dive deep. Last Legends category here before we do one more show specific. The weirdest story in Star Wars Legends. That's right. You can only get this kind of content on the 100th episode of Legends Look Back. My pick. This one's just for you, Freddie. We did our Boba Fett character episode, and you surprised me with a story. I'm not even sure what this one was. Was it The Fat Lady Sings? It's one of those that was drawn by Cam Kennedy, who
Yeah.
drew Dark Empire. All right, Emily, Rick, Freddie, it's going to sound like I'm making this up.
If this is the one that I remember, with the magician or whatever.
There's a
It's-
magician
Yes.
and a
Yeah.
hut. And that's all I remember, but it was weird.
So basically, the magician had an actual power to transport people, but we had to watch him juggling and stuff. We had to actually see this in comic panels, like multiple, like magic tricks, and it's almost like, what is this doing here in this Boba Fett story?
It is. If you guys go back and watch the episode of Legends Look Back where Freddie and I were talking about Boba Fett, the segment of the show where Freddie is explaining this story to me, my eyes glaze over. And then at the end of it, I said, "What?" And then he retold the entire story to
What?
me live on air. And at the end, I
Yeah.
was like, that still makes less sense to me than it did the first time. he told
Boba
me the
Fett
story.
captures a magician.
That's my pick. The time Boba Fett captured a magician and sold him to a hut. Who is up next? Corey, you're the weirdest Star Wars legend story.
This is also almost a cliche, but I have to go with Luke. How else do you say it? Luke? I don't know. Luke with 2 U's. I mean, Legends. There's a few moments in Legends history in which it truly went off the rails. Truly, like just totally off of everything else that was being created at the time. And the whole Luke throne, his DNA was, good Lord, what was the story? They found his hand from Cloud City and like put it in a vat of acid or something, and like they cloned him from that. And it's just the most insane, ridiculous thing I think that ever happened in Legends. That was truly a horrible character arc that should have never happened.
And it's in one of the most widely beloved Star Wars trilogies of all time.
It is. It's truly. It's insane that it even happened, and I really hope they never do anything with this, because they have brought Mount Tantis, right? They brought that into canon now too, right? So please don't go there.
Come on, you don't want to see this in live action.
Oh my God, Thrawn with his hand. Get out. I cannot believe you had that.
Now, Rick, I believe we actually have an image of Luke from the Last Command comic adaptation. This is Luke Skywalker, that is evil cloned Luke Skywalker, who has to fight against Luke Skywalker, but he's using Luke Skywalker's first lightsaber, the one that Anakin had, and then it goes to Mara Jade, and then it's the Legacy Skywalker saber.
Oh, dear.
Did it belong to Luke Skywalker?
Yeah.
My
For
favorite
more on
is
this story coming up next week on Legends Look Back 101, we're going to talk about the weirdest. No, what were we talking about? The Star Wars Legends moments you never thought you needed to know, and we're talking about who
and
was
wish you hadn't.
Yeah, the character who was almost Luke Skywalker. He's only wanted somebody else. Who was it? We'll talk about it next week. What'd you want to say, Freddie?
Oh no, just I love the fact that they went back and they're like, hey, what should we name this clone?
Yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst. That's the worst part. I think it's just I might could accept the character arc, honestly, if they literally didn't just put a separate U in Luke's name. Like, it's just the goofiest thing that's ever happened. I mean, I came across some Reddit posts recently, because I was doing some research for the show of like, gosh, what are some of the weirdest things that I forgot about Legends? And someone said, I basically, there was a period of my life when I stopped reading all Star Wars because of the whole Luke situation. I was like, okay, I can maybe get behind that. All right. If there was a time to maybe jump ship for a little while, that's crazy. So yeah, wild stuff happened in those early days. Well, and like you say, it is crazy that it wasn't such an iconic trilogy for sure.
What's the better alternative though? Like double L's, like Lama, Lala Luke,
Lake,
or
Lake?
Yeah,
I don't know.
You just go with other Bible names, like Mark.
Even if they,
I don't know.
Mark.
M-A-A-R-K. There we go.
Imagine if they cloned Chewbacca.
You got a great pick from Blind Fates here in the chat. Jordan says his pick is issue number 77 of the Marvel Run. Editing this a little bit for cleanliness. He says there are werewolf gremlins at a Zeltron dinner party. Did I say more? So
that should say a lot.
It does say a lot.
Honestly, you could just like pop open the 70s Marvel Run, like close your eyes, flip to a page, and point and land on something that kind of probably fits this category. Honestly,
Jackson existing,
yeah, right.
Jackson being a ladies' man. We read that recently. He's pretty good with the ladies. That's right. Okay, who is up next? I got out of order last time and I got in trouble. Freddie.
So I definitely think one of the weirdest things I've read in Star Wars, and it happens to be my favorite, of course, are the entekments. I mean, it's definitely unexpected when you think about it, just taking people's souls and putting them into robots, droids. Definitely very odd kind of main issue in the whole story, if that makes sense. And I guess the next one is kind of like an honorable mention, but I think the Rakata in general are just very weird.
Yeah, I always thought that too, man. Especially when with the Code Tour games and stuff, like the Rakata being introduced. I remember getting that as a kid and like not like understanding what the heck was going on. It's like these weird alien people and they're still like alive and stuff. Like, what are we doing right now? Yeah, the fish heads,
the murderous Jedi, evil fish heads. Yeah.
What's wrong with those? What was
They're
it? Was
totally
it
normal.
the Korriban that were in? Was it Blood Ties? Like the
Korriban's a
weird.
planet.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about though.
The
There's
weird
those,
face
like-
creatures that eat people for
Oh.
sacrifice.
Yeah, those guys.
Mm.
Yeah, who are those guys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Xanabar.
Oh my gosh.
Xanabar.
is that right?
Xanadu.
Zazabar.
Xanabar. All right, we got to find a picture of that. Man, those things
Star
are
Wars
horrific.
is
They were
is
creepy.
wild, guys.
Coming up out of their face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check out the Blood Ties issue. The episode. That one was
Yeah.
a lot of fun. Good pull, Rick.
Thank
Good
you.
pull, Rick.
Thank you.
Is that your
No,
choice?
it's not. Mine, I
Okay.
was going to go with the fact that Grand Moff Tarkin had a love interest, and it was like his
That was
protege,
weird.
Admiral
That was
Dalla, and like reading about how she was into him just like creeps me out. So that's
No, I don't like that.
the weirdest for me.
Yeah.
You want more of that,
I
Rick?
don't. I
That's
weirdly don't remember that either. When did that happen?
Jedi Academy
What
trilogy.
was
Jedi
that?
Academy.
That's
Oh,
right.
Jedi
Jedi
talks about
Academy.
her.
It has
That
been a
relationship-
hot minute since I've read that trilogy. It's probably been 20 years or something like that. I
That
don't know.
relationship
Man.
is explicitly detailed in
Yes.
the novel
Ugh,
Death Star.
I don't
Like,
like
it's-
that.
And the where?
There's whole Death Star, the
Ah.
novel Death Star. Read it from my
Ew,
the
I
Race to
bet.
the Finish.
Well, which came
Yeah.
first?
Jedi Academy trilogy did. So
Okay.
this one like elaborated on it. It's got sections in the book where Dalla goes to visit Tarkin on the Death Star,
Nope.
and they're
Nope, nope.
flirting.
All right.
And they're at the
let's
bar,
Okay,
move
flirting is
and
not that
he's
bad.
like, "Hey,
move
I think I
it.
need some help with some battle plans up in my room."
Oh,
Yes.
Uh,
I don't like that
seriously,
one bit.
dozens
Your-
of chapters of that.
My
Dozens.
goodness.
Your dress code needs to be inspected.
Very,
Yeah, hard pass.
very much so.
Oh man.
I'm not kidding. Legitimately.
Oh, I
chapters
don't
of
like
that
that
relationship.
one bit.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
dear.
And Emily,
Thank you.
your pick for weirdest moment.
I mean, it has to be the entictments at Truce of Bakura. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Wildest thing.
can't find anything weirder. As I was reading it in the NICU, it's like hospital sober
Oh my
setting,
God.
I was like laughing out loud. I had to put it down. And like at one point, my husband asked me what I was reading, and
The blooded
can't even
people in
explain it.
robots.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain what's.
I've never heard of this. I don't remember this at all. It says this was in appearances in Truce of Bakura, Children of the Jedi. Apparently, it's mentioned, and it's also mentioned in like some of the new Jedi Order books. Apparently, I have no
Yeah,
memory
they
of
go
this
back
whatsoever.
to Bakura. Why does everybody want to go
Oh my
back to
gosh.
Bakura? Hey, Emily, you know how you don't know who Empadagiolos Brand is and you want to, so you're going to read Dark Empire too?
Yes.
There's another kind of intechment-ish thing that happens in Dark Empire too. There's
Oh my gosh.
souls trapped in
Oh yeah.
in droid fighters.
In like they're the weirdest drawn thing too. They're basically TIE fighters, but the cockpit of the TIE fighter looks like the TIE fighter's helmet. It's weird. It almost looks like a person. And
the heck?
Yeah,
they
kinda
take
bug-like.
the pilot, like they take the brain of the pilot and basically put it inside of this vehicle.
Yeah, as Jacob describes it, our buddy Jacob, he says that it's like putting Dark Empire's a 10, and then we're just going to amp the crazy up to 12.
Mm.
That's what this is. So if you thought that was weird, you're going to love Dark Empire too. So one last category before we are done tonight. We had to cut so many good ones. We will get there eventually, sooner or later. Future episodes, there's still 100 more, right?
Mhm.
Whew, surely. Yeah, no problem. No big deal. At the pace we're going, one a week, definitely. We'll get there for sure. Freddie bought a suit. We've got to. Okay, here's the last category, and that is the funniest moments in Legends Look Back history. My choice, I believe Rick has a clip of. Freddie, set the stage for the good folks. Tell the people about Ralra the Wookiee
Oh goodness
from
gracious.
the Thrawn trilogy.
Oh
Okay.
dear.
So in the Thrawn trilogy, there is a Wookiee who is criticized by his own because he has a speech impediment. And that speech impediment gives him the ability, him or her, or it doesn't
Yeah, I don't
matter,
remember.
gives the Wookiee the ability to speak basic. And we have a clip of what that sounds like. And I know there's a few people, any Legends fans out there who know what this is. We apologize in advance.
Read by
But
the great Mark Thompson. This is one of his most outstanding performances in any Star Wars
Oh
audiobook.
dear.
We're hyping this up so big. I really hope I have the right clip and I don't disappoint
me too.
everybody right now.
He growled politely.
All right, give me a second.
All right. It's like a plot device. You've got to have a Wookiee.
I listened to this recently.
Yeah, you've got to have.
They can't understand him. All right, somebody doesn't speak Wookiee. Is it Leia doesn't speak Wookiee? I think
Right.
maybe.
No, she can't.
Yeah. She can't understand it.
Shirawook.
Yeah, Shriwook. I'm sorry, he can't speak
Mine
Wookiee.
can't. He was
Let me
raised
be
by Wookiees.
offensive.
You know, that's
Yes,
the
right,
Legends
right.
thing.
I'm
Raised
ready.
by
Here we go.
Wookiees.
Here we go. I think.
He growled politely.
I am Ra-Rachin. You may find it easier to call me Ra.
I'm honored to meet you.
my name is.
He growled politely.
I am Ra-Rachin. You may find it easier to call me Ra.
I'm honored to meet you.
my name is.
He growled politely.
I am Ra-Rachin. You may find it easier.
Wow.
Yeah, we actually couldn't hear it on our end due to the technology, but
Oh,
it
dear.
really is a stellar performance of. I like the moment when he says, "My name is Rora, but you can call me, but you can call me Rora."
You know what?
Impersonation is spot on, Jared.
You have to admit, if there's a Wookiee who has a speech impediment that can speak basic, how is it going to sound? Mark Thompson nailed it.
I don't know. Do you think that like, you know, he's reading the book and stuff, you know, because I don't know if he, you know, we have interviewed him a couple times. I don't know if he's ever said that he like reads the whole book at least once before he like starts to perform. I think he was like reading ahead to what he has to do at work tomorrow, and he's like looking, he's like, oh no, oh no.
All right, that's a
how
question.
am I gonna do this? I have to like pretend I know what I'm doing. How am I gonna do it? And then he just like. It's like, what the heck?
That's a question we gotta ask him. Next
exactly.
time we impromptu interview him, and I have exactly 3.5 minutes to do so, I'm gonna do that impression for him.
Yes.
For sure, definitely. Well, all right, Corey, what is your pick for funniest moment in Legends Look Back?
It has to be Chives for me. It has to be Chives. That clip, we played that on Living Force as the the ad roll for like weeks, and like our audio isn't live during the ads that we play, and literally every single week we just couldn't stop laughing. Like we had to like stop playing it on the show because it was the funniest thing that I've ever seen. It was so good. The way that everybody just kind of like threw in their own little thing to that. I've never laughed so hard in my life. It was
It's a
so
team
good.
effort for sure. Definitely a team
Chives.
effort. We've got the
Chives,
clip.
and then it's the edit. You know, you have the clip. Okay, please play it.
Here we go.
Series in all of Legends. What do you guys think? Could it be the X-Wing series? Might just be the
It
most
was pretty
romance
steamy.
intensive series ever. And we're not just talking about the scene where Corran Horn describes his love affair with an otter. I mean, a Salonian that, you know, he hooked up with her and then he broke out in chives.
Yeah, not chives.
Chives.
Not
Chives.
chives.
What's it called? The bumps?
Hives, dude. Hives.
Chives
so
go under
sorry.
potato.
I'm hearing you say the same thing.
Chives,
What
what
is-
you put on the under potato. No C. Hives.
Hives.
Not chives.
What'd I say?
Chives.
What a great moment.
The
I'm definitely not tired.
the potato on the screen is what does it for me, man. It's just so funny. I think Jacob edited that on our team. I'm pretty sure.
very
Or
well
it was
done,
either
Jacob.
Jacob or Emma. I can't remember who edited. I think it was Jacob. And oh man, he killed it.
Well done. I'm not tired of that clip at all. Absolutely. Okay, what else do we have? Freddie, you're up next.
Well, okay, this is the hard one because I feel like I've gone back to listen to a good amount of episodes, and there's a lot of good, funny moments everywhere. There's a lot of little gold pieces, gold nuggets, and it's so hard to really pick one. But I would say, you know, the memes that seem to have followed us around, and definitely we perpetuate it. We're not gonna lie about it. But we've got naked Palps. We've got hot dog Boba Fett. I remember Spready Freddy being a thing. That was weird.
That was a good one. I tried to find that clip, Freddie. I've got October 2020. That's as far as I was able to get. I could not find the episode.
And then of course recently, which I think we said this on the Cosmic Force yesterday. What was it? Pickled Snoke. Pickled Snoke. So we've got Pickled Snoke, Hot Dog Boba Fett, Naked Palps, Chives. I mean, there's Spready Freddy. There's so many memeable moments in Legends Look Back.
Truly.
Very
I think
meaningful.
that happens when you've been around each other for as long as you guys have. I mean, there's just like running jokes at this point. Like even it's so wild to me, even being on this show, like this far into your development that I've never been on before. It's like you just have your own like little mini culture here, and it's so cool, like and fun. And I think that's what makes this thing so wild and fun, and why you've survived as long as you have. Like. It's a lot of fun.
We've survived
a lot of fun.
on a diet of naked palps and Spready.
That's right. And Hot Dog Boba Fett.
And Hot Dog Boba
Oh, dear.
Breakfast of Champions. Emily, you are up next. What is your pick?
Okay, so it's pretty early on, and Rick and I were still kind of feeling out where we were in like the whole vibe, and we were doing it at the Rec and Thrift store, and Jared, you brought out something that you were really proud of, and it came down to Rick. He was the very last one to go, and he was like, actually, and he brought out like a better version of what you just bought. And that was precious to me, because I was like, okay, we can do this. Rick and I were in it. We're doing it.
All right, I got you, partner. Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was great. I loved that moment for sure. Okay.
And then I kept doing it every time.
I think the takeaway is just we really love it, Jared, when you're just really humbled.
Yeah.
And like we're just making fun of you, ragging on you. 'Cause you do such a good job with the show, and you're on your game so much of the time. It's really fun to poke fun at you a little bit, because
he is
you don't
human.
make it easy. He is human.
Yeah. Andrew likes the Spready Freddy callback. Let's make fun of Freddy for a minute, please. Okay. And Nia says the Salacious Crumb costume. That was good. That was good.
Oh, that was classic. Yep.
And Rick, your pick.
All right, so I got two. I'll be quick. First time my wife got in the chat, she was throwing some shade, and that was funny.
Oh yeah, she really throws on thick.
She's spicy. I love her. And so I forget what she said exactly, but it was a funny moment for sure. And then there was that one time, I forget what episode, but after every episode, we always like hang out and talk. And I had ended the episode, like I'd switched to the end screen, but I never clicked stop streaming. And I switched back over to our group, like just chat for like 15 seconds.
We've done that before.
So we're just hanging out. And then like this sheer look of terror as I realize what's going on. And I'm just like, I don't know how to stop it, so it was bad.
Man. From the internet forever. Do not look for it.
Yeah,
anyway.
That is correct.
And
we didn't say anything bad. It was just our normal, like, oh yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
One time, Freddie and I.
Oh God! Thank God that show's over. Man, it sucked. Am I right, guys?
Freddie, I think you and I had a 30-ish episode streak of 0 swears on the show.
Oh my gosh!
Even from guests, even Heather had been on, and we had not had a
what?
swear. And
that's really amazing.
We've since broken it, but nothing egregious, very small. And one time I accidentally swore. I'm a minister. I accidentally swore. But I was quoting somebody. It wasn't my swear. It was okay because I was quoting. And Meg had gone live, and I didn't know my mic was on, and I said it. And she goes, "Jared, by the way, you're live." That's a good moment. Okay,
Oops, that was Jared.
Yeah,
Jared.
That was somebody else.
Me.
So I broke the streak. That's right. Okay,
just
so
a
we got
reminder that the producers have all the power. So there you go.
Very true. That's exactly a reminder there. And a request from Jordan in the chat says the Depa Balaba stare is a pick for funniest moment.
Oh dear, that was.
Deadpan.
Can you do that?
The deadpan stare in the back of Shatterpoint, just right into the camera. It's the scariest thing. Right over Mace Windu's shoulder, the deadpan stare.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the moment. You're welcome. That's right.
Oh,
I said
gosh.
on the show. Oh, Freddie's right in the camera. That was that was a genuine shriek there. Okay. And guys, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you, Corey, for joining. It's been a blast.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. Congrats again on 100 episodes. This is a momentous occasion when any show makes it to 100. So seriously, congratulations. It's been a blast to watch the show develop over time. I know it only has good, positive, amazing things in its future. as long as memes like Naked Palpatine, Hot Dog Boba Fett, and Chives survive. As long as they do, you guys will be golden.
Thank you. I hope that our Youtini little trophies, the golden ones, are in the mail. And
Yeah,
not broken.
one day they are. I'm sure. I hope they don't get lost.
Honestly,
God forbid. All right.
I brought home my weight and stickers and pins from celebrations.
That's true. I still have a whole bunch of them in my closet too. So dig those out.
Well, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this week. Real quick, just a little bit about what is coming up on future episodes. Next episode of Legends Look Back next Thursday. That said, Legends 101, everything you never thought you ever needed to know about Legends. What'd you say, Corey? And wish you hadn't?
Yes.
Backtracking a little bit, last night on the Cosmic Force, Freddie, tell the good folks what we did last night.
Yeah, last night we talked about Dark Empire. One of actually, it's on Jared's body. That's how much he likes it. So definitely one of our favorites. And check it out. It's a fantastic episode. We recorded that on the eve of our 100 episodes. So that energy was there.
Yeah, there you go.
And clothed. Okay, and Corey, coming up next week. What are you guys in the middle of right now on the Legends Force?
Absolutely. We're in the middle of our two-part roundtable on Shadow of the Sith. If you are a canon reader, this is probably the most, not want to miss book, I guess, that ties into the sequel trilogy. We're having a lot of fun kind of talking about it. The sheer volume of stuff that it accomplished is utterly nuts. I mean, pretty much every single problem with The Rise of Skywalker is kind of addressed in this book. It's a lot of fun. It's a good read. It's a heavy read. We're right in the middle of our roundtable. Next week, we are finishing up our character study. And we're going to talk about big picture questions as well as all of the Easter eggs. And I've already seen the list, and Charles outdone himself on this one. It is
I can't wait. There's a lot of Easter
quite
eggs.
a list of Easter eggs. A lot of legend stuff too, actually.
Hot
They
chocolate's
name
in there?
dropped. Yes, they named dropped hot chocolate. We talked about that in Slack recently. Luke and Lando kind of share hot chocolate in this, which is such a throwback to Heir to the Empire, which is fantastic. And also they name dropped the Errant Venture, which I'm not sure if that's the first time this has been dropped. That's what's the name? Booster Terex, Star Destroyer, Casino, whatever it is. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, which is your Booster Terex. Let's do the what's the Kevin Bacon, two things removed from Kevin.
Right.
What is it? It's not Corin Hornez in canon these days. It's like
Exactly.
Booster Tarek, his daughter is Mirax, and Mirax marries Corin Horn, and now he's canon. So there you go.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
That's not a spoiler. It's like 20, 30 years old. It can't be a spoiler. Do you guys do that every single time you name a spoiler on this show?
Rick's in the
Yes.
middle of reading the Kratos
No
trap.
respect. No.
The
respect.
Krytos trap? Come on.
Yeah. I know. I love it. It's been good.
We just got the Essential Legends.
Krytos trap is considered one of the best ones, I believe, of that series, is it not?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'm
and
on
Corey
mine.
loves it. It's in his top
Yep.
10 Legends books. And that does it for this week. Thank you for joining us for Legends Look Back. Thank you to our incredible patrons for your support. We love making the show, all 100 episodes of it, and we are glad you are along for the ride. A special thank you to our Jedi High Council, Brian Dooley, Earl Q, Robert Thomas, Patrick Ortiz, and Carl Sander, and also to our Alliance High Command, Elizabeth Cloutier, Sally, and Chris Eilerson. Remember, everybody, to sub to the channel. Leave us a review in your podcast platform of choice, especially if it's 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? And of course, if you'd like your thoughts read on the show, you can email us at legendslookback@youtini.com. Send a message in the Legends Look Back Discord channel. You can leave a comment on this episode on YouTube, or you can find us on Twitter at Legends Look Back. I'm at Jared Q. Mays. Freddie,
At Wake Up Freddy.
Rick,
At Rick_Grace.
Emily,
At Darth Daybeck.
and Corey.
At Corey M. Helton.
Awesome. Definitely gonna follow you for all the doctor advice, right? That's what you're giving? Medical
Yeah,
tips?
I give lots of that out on the internet for free. Yep, there's no liability with that whatsoever.
And for
Good, I just
legality's
said no.
sake, that's not true. And thank you, everybody, of course, for joining us for this very special 100th episode. If you'd like to check out some of the books we've talked about here live on the air and want to help support the show, such as some of our favorite books like Darth Plagueis and Shadowhunter and Trucifer, if you're so inclined, you can go on over to youtini.com, click the Amazon link in the profile, and of course, after you read the book, you can leave us a review and let us know what you think. But remember, no matter what you think, keep the Youtini fan code, and be a force for positivity in the fandom. May the force be with you.
Whew, all right, guys, really went long. I got to get back to the tables.